Hola, mi amigos.
Hey, guys and girls. What's going on? Welcome back to another episode of Soaps and Sass.
The Beyond the Gate. Yes, Beyond the Gates edition.
I'm your host, or hostess. Somebody told me I'm a girl, so I should not be a host. Anyway, don't care how you slice it. I'm Mama Sass.
And I'm a very much better non-sick baby's ass.
Yay!
All right.
Okay, so... you know what? Actually, just before we get into the recap of the week's events, which is, by the way, this is episode 19, the week of May 12th to 16th.
Yes.
Before we get into the week and the recap, there was a surprise this week. And I was surprised.
I just looked at the screen and said, oh. Compared to Mother, who's like, oh. And my aunt...
You can't even, because you weren't here when I was watching.
Not here.
You don't know how I was.
No, and my aunt, Auntie Sass, who has graced us with her lovely presence, unfortunately not today, but previously, called hollering to my mother.
She didn't holler. You weren't here. You don't know.
You told me.
I didn't say she hollered. I said she called.
You said she screamed in your ear.
I didn't say she screamed in my ear. I said she didn't say hello. She said, who is this?
Oh.
Is what she said.
Very loudly in your ear.
Oh, my goodness. Any hoot, in case y'all don't know, Ted has been recast.
Honestly, I ain't mad at it.
I ain't mad at it either, but I never understand why. I guess it's just a question of timing. I mean, but you recast in the middle of a massive plot point.
Yep.
Or a story. Yeah, plot point, storyline. It's odd. But anyways, so Maurice Johnson, who played Ted Richardson, is out. And Keith D. Robinson is in. That was as of Thursday's episode.
Yep.
So something I was reading on the internet, and I will just put it out here, just to squash the rumors. Maurice, the original Ted, was not fired. And he did not have any beef with the actress that plays Nicole, because apparently that's the rumor out there. And he's like, listen, man, it's nobody's business why I left, but those two things are not true. So I don't know if we'll find out why he actually left, but he left.
I was like, this kind of gives when even though Maurice's time on Beyond the Gates is much shorter than this other person who was on General Hospital, it was just like this is just like when Jack Brennan just up and left.
Yeah.
And we got like so suddenly, no questions, like no answers,
no information,
just bye. It was like, what the France?
Yeah. And I mean, it's not our business. If I leave my job, it's not your business why I left my job. I don't even have to tell you I'm leaving.
No.
I total tangent. But I recently, I guess it's 3 years ago now, I left my job that I had been at for 30 years to go work in another company. But something that I see is people sending out emails saying, as of whatever, I will no longer be working here.
Right, and
it was
that's
nice
courtesy.
Working with you, and here's my email. I didn't do that.
No, you just up and left.
I just up and left. I mean, the people that I work with most closely, they either knew because they found out immediately, or if I didn't work as closely with you, I picked up the phone and I called you directly. And if you didn't hear from me, it's because I don't want to talk to you.
Right.
So, really, and why I left was nobody's business.
No.
I can tell y'all, though, my boss was crazy. But anyhow. Yes, so, Maurice has moved on. Keith D. Robinson has stepped in. My immediate shock at seeing him was that he looked so baby-faced from the camera shot where he was first introduced. When he stepped properly into the light, it's like, oh, okay, he's not so young. Him and Samantha look to be about the same age. But that's weird.
That's another thing she'll get in on later.
But, so for those of you who think that he looks familiar, you may know him from Dreamgirls, where he played C.C. White. That was the movie with Beyonce and Jennifer Hudson, Eddie Murphy, Anika Noni Rose, a whole slew of stars.
Eddie Murphy was in it?
Yes, he was.
I know I saw that movie, and the only person I remember is Jamie Foxx.
If ever it comes up in trivia, yes, Eddie Murphy was in Dreamgirls.
Okay.
He was, to my shock and surprise, and I just watched the video clip and giggled, he was the Green Ranger in Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue, a character named Joel. Baby Sass said, I know him. I'm like, yeah, Power Rangers. She's like, no.
I didn't watch Power Rangers. Well, I did, but I didn't watch that one. I watched a very specific Power Ranger
she said, no, it's not that. I know him from Fat Albert. I was like, Fat Albert?
The movie, not the TV show.
Right, the live action with Kenan Thompson. And Keith played Bill when the cartoon characters come into the real world.
So yes, he essentially played Bill Cosby, even though the actual Bill Cosby's in the movie.
Yep.
Since the Fat Albert crew is based off Bill's actual friends.
Yep. And he also played Nathan Walker in American Dreams. Not a show that I'm familiar with, but yeah, this actor has a very, very, very extensive repertoire. He's guest starred in any number of shows, including Monk, in case anybody watches that. So yeah, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
And so far, he's done a credible job. So
right.
Okay, recap time. Baby Sass, do you want to take it away?
I'm going to do this recap this week.
All right. So
in line with the fallout of the anniversary party. So, a few key points. So, Danny goes over to Ted's hotel room, reams him out. Then Anita shows up. And, of course, reams him out. So, Ted is getting reamed out by everybody. Mm-hmm. Stanky Leslie decided to make an appearance at Nicole's house. And
so out of order.
I use air quotes, apologize for what she did. And saying the truth had to come out. She didn't mean to hurt Nicole. And Nicole just looked at her and said, stop BSing me. Like, you trying to pull something but ain't working. And Leslie's like, all right, facade off, and basically told her a few things. Mm-hmm. Then we had Martin paid a visit. Actually, Martin, and they were just talking, and she's like, Leslie was here, and they said, excuse me. Kat was kind of sort of doubting the DNA results because she's like, those two are shady as what? I wouldn't put them past them to fake this. And Nicole's like, based on a few things that were discovered during our fertility tests with your father, Eva has the same markers that your father has. So there's no way they could have known that. So no, she is your sister. I believe that. So she ain't happy. So Kat's not happy about that, but that's that. Nicole kind of still in her sadness later. Danny comes over and is like, we're getting out the house. Let's go. They head over to the club, i.e. the country club. And lo and behold, stumbling in, they see Ted with Eva. And we'll get to the fashion later because I know we tend to talk about fashion sometimes, but some choices were made.
Mercy.
And they were not happy. And Danny and Nicole are kind of like...
Well, not even so much.
More Danny. It's like, how dare you show your face here after what you did? And it's kind of like... He's a member of the club. He's not going to, not go out the house and whatever. And kind of like, how are you here with your child and not making amends with Nicole? And it's like, she doesn't want to see him. What can you do? But
just before that, or kind of simultaneously to that, right? Because Nicole was like, oh, I don't think I can do this. And then it was Vanessa.
It was Vanessa.
Vanessa came pelting across the room. It's like, oh my gosh, Nicole, I got some tea.
Right.
And drags Nicole into the restaurant. So giving Nicole an out and a rescue, which was Sisters Unite.
Right. So Vanessa rescued Nicole before anything could happen. Danny kind of reams into Eva a little bit. Not so much, but just the little reminders, like, remember what my mother and I told you about you never being a Dupree, and moving on. Mm-hmm. And while at the country club, there's a little Miss Gossip, and she's watching all of this happening.
And Anastasia, we got to talk about her.
Gives a few words to Nicole in kind of a, I feel for you, girl. I have me and my ex-husband and everything,
we gotta say that for later. Let's say that for later.
Then she goes over to Eva, exchanges a few words. Eva feels away, runs out, goes to Orphe Jean's, where her mom is, and she tries to plead for forgiveness and say, Mama, I made a mistake. Please let me come home, or yada, yada, yada. But Leslie, who, before Eva shows up, sees Jan, i.e. Ashley's mother.
Didn't she run into Mona first?
You're right. She did run into Mona. Sorry, I didn't move the Leslie stuff. But no, yes.
That's okay.
So Leslie was at her apartment, chilling.
Oh, that's right. Okay, it wasn't at Orphe Jean's.
No.
Right. Okay.
Chilling. And after Mona had a brief run-in with Eva at the casino, mm-hmm. Because Eva was trying to get some money, yada yada, and Mona was trying to get some information from Randy, Doug's friend, also the employee of Joy Armstrong. He's like, we don't have slots, we just do cards, because Leslie had claimed she won a bunch of money, which is how she bought expensive dresses and outfits for the anniversary party, which Mona was not aware of, and is like, figures out that Leslie lied. Anyway, Mona talks to Eva for a bit. Eva is like, I'm sorry, I really didn't, like, I'm sorry this is going, like, all this is happening. Mona's like, it might not be my fault, but my word is very much now not as strong as it used to be because of what you've done. Also, give me the house key. So she gives her the house key.
Right.
Because, you know. Mm-hmm. And then Mona leaves, goes to Leslie's, confronts Leslie about the lies and all of this and all of that. And Mona says, tell me the truth. Where'd you get the money? And again, Leslie lies because it's Leslie and says, I used some on credit cards and what. Anyway, Mona basically tells Leslie to go to hell and enjoy the burn.
Mm-hmm. Right. So now, then back to Orphe Jeans.
Back to Orphe's. Leslie has now arrived. She sees Jan, goes to sit with Jan, and Jan says, oh, hell no. Mona told me what happened, and I don't want you as a friend. You lied to me. You lied to her. You betrayed our friendship. You've basically gaslit, mistreated, abused, and all this stuff to your daughter. You're like, what kind of mother could do that? I don't want you as a friend. And Leslie's like, screw you then, and goes to sit off at another table. While also Martin and Vernon are there. They're having a little breakfast. In comes Eva, boo-hooing, begging her mama to take her back. And Leslie also reams out Eva. Very publicly and very harshly, might I add, into some very, very choice words that no mother should ever tell their child, and no child should ever hear from their parent. And
everybody in the restaurant is listening.
Everybody's listening.
Every eye is turned.
Jan is appalled. Mm-hmm. Martin is like, this is my sister and this is what she's been through for the last 22 years. I think not. 22, 23, however.
Yep, and the public was there listening in.
Right.
And all you heard in the restaurant.
Oh, gosh.
Oh.
Yeah, basically. So Eva's upset and crying. Martin, being the older brother that he is, goes over and says, I'm so sorry, like, no one should ever have to go through that, and, you know, that is not okay, and basically just comforting his sister. She eventually leaves. Not Vernon. He does do this, but first Jan walks up, has a few more words for Leslie, being like, that is horrible, that is despicable, how could you do that as a mother, and you call yourself a mother, yada yada yada. And Leslie basically like, piss off.
Oh, gosh.
So Jan leaves. Vernon comes over, says a few more words, and he's like, I feel sorry for you. I pity you. And, like, that's the worst thing you could ever do, because soon you won't realize the good things that are gone before it's too late. And then he leaves. And then Leslie's just there like, Then Martin and Vernon decide to leave. Some shady white man decides to follow them.
Yeah.
And we'll get back to him later. Proceed to see Joey. I don't know where he met up with Vanessa, but he met up with Vanessa somewhere, and they're starting to talk about the Nicole and Pedro.
I think it was Uptown.
Probably. Oh, yes, because it's Joey. Sorry, not Dougie. I misplaced the two people. Okay, sorry. So Joey and Vanessa are at Uptown. They're having a chit-chat, and Vanessa tells Joey what's going on with Ted Nicole. He says some things and some very nice words of wisdom, and then invites Vanessa back to his place, and she's like, no, I'm going to go home to my bed with my husband. Thank you. And leaves. Then Joey goes to see Doug, who's at the casino. And before they interact, Dougie is having some words with Randy. And Randy's like, dude, leave. Just don't do it. You already owe Joey a lot. Just don't do it. And he's like, I hear you, man. I hear you. So they leave. Go their separate ways. Dougie's making it look like he's leaving the building. Randy's going to another back office, I guess, or another room. And Dougie runs right back in, peeping behind the doors like I'm in the clear, and goes to the table and tells my man, deal me in. And then Joey arrives and says to Dougie, you have a week to pay me, or I'm busting them kneecaps.
Pretty much.
That, or you can get me in on your wife's business. But Dougie said no. So he's like, okay, you owe me my money with interest, and you have a week. Don't make me come look for you, because you don't want me to come look for you. So that was that. Then Martin, sweet old Martin, decides he's not going to run for president, runs into Kat, and has some few choice words. Mainly that it's like, come over for pizza, and I'm inviting our sister. Kat's like, hell to the no. You're not inviting our sister. And he's like, okay. And he invited Eva. Kat did not go. So pizza dinner at the
Richardson Juniors.
Richardson Smiths, I guess, whatever the name is.
Sure.
So Eva meets the niece and the nephew. The niece is not happy. The nephew's kind of cool. Sam also decided to invite Jessica over for dinner to meet the family. But yeah, that was an interesting situation. But it seems that Sam is warming up to her new aunt as she found out that Eva is a hairstylist and working at this very fancy store now. And Eva did her hair, and seems like they're now bonding, and we will see.
Yeah, maybe Sam will actually look like a teenager going forward.
Yep. Bill is having some of his own health issues again, so we're seeing how that's going to go. June has pneumonia and gets operated upon.
Yeah. June, in case y'all don't remember, is the homeless lady they found under the bridge.
Yep.
That, we're not really doing predictions, but we'll throw in that she will have a more important
active
plot
role,
point.
Yep.
I almost feel like... Sorry, I'm not sure if you finished the
I'm
recap.
not, but go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, I almost feel like the writers have thrown her in there and they're trying to test the waters to see how she's received by the audience. I'm like, keep her.
Right. She tells it straight up.
Yep. I like her.
Right. Then, let's see. Bill pays a visit to Bill. Ted pays a visit to Bill to tell him that Dana is going around causing a mess and he needs to handle it because he sent her a cease and desist, and she's like, hell to the no. Naomi walks in and sees them together, and she's like, oh, scheming again. And Bill's like, I'm just trying to fix my marriage. And Naomi's like, oh, at least someone knows the meaning of that. Throwing shade at her dad. Kat chats with Chelsea, theorizing and coming to the conclusion that one of the two, being Leslie and Eva, ran Laura off the road. And she's like, I gotta go tell my dad. So she ran to her dad's apartment hotel room, which she had previously been in, and they had talked and somewhat worked things out. She hasn't forgiven him, but they're like, okay. So she went back, and he wasn't there. But then Leslie showed up, and they had a conversation, and Kat asked her straight up, so which one of you did the thing to Laura? And she's like, oh, well, who do you think? It was Eva. She didn't say in specific words, but she's obviously insinuating that Eva did it. So Kat runs off, finds Jacob, and plays him the recording she had secretly taken of her and Leslie's conversation. And he's like, I see. It's a little circumstantial, but I see. Send it to me. So she does. So he has it. And currently he is making moves to arrest, well, not arrest, but question Leslie. Miss anything?
Nothing germane really to the story other than, maybe something for us to discuss because, and I don't know how big the discussion will be, but out of all the things that Leslie was planning, it did not occur to her that she might be facing charges because
Eva pointed that out.
She summoned Eva to Orphe Jean's on her birthday. Eva was in the middle of celebrating her birthday by herself. And Eva ran over there, like, thinking, oh, good, my mama hasn't forgotten me, and she wants to reconnect and, forgive and forget.
Only to mention the cease and desist.
Yeah, Leslie's just complaining about the cease and desist and how dare they, I'm so put upon. And Eva says, well, you should be very grateful because you could be facing worse charges. And Dana's very much surprised by this information. It's like, what do you mean? It's like fraud, this, that, and the third.
Attempted murder.
Right? Laura got run off the road, blah, blah, blah. And Dana's like, oh, shimps. Or Leslie, going to switch back over the name. And you can see the wheels turning, which is how she ended up kind of throwing Eva under the bus when she was talking to Kat.
Right, so it's simply like, Eva, if you kept your mouth shut on that one, the position that you're about to be in would not be happening.
Right, but, Eva's early 20s, so, can't foresee it yet. So, let's break down some of these things. And I think we should do it by category because I have a lot of notes in most of the categories.
That is fine.
Let's talk about comedy moment of the week. One you already mentioned.
Yep.
That was
Doug racing back into the room.
That was just ridiculous. That was definitely a cartoonish moment. And every so often they do that on the show, right? They'll have something happen and clearly it's supposed to be funny. It's comedic, but it just kind of like over and above it. For me.
Sorry. Y'all can't see me, but I'm reading the notes, and I had to kind of jump back a little bit because I was looking for something and I found it in the wrong category, but I'm like, why'd you put that there, Mom? We already agreed. We're not putting that there for reasons.
Put it where you want to put it. I'm pretty sure I know what you're talking about, but put it where you want to put it.
Okay, so I'm moving this from, I understand why it's in the What Had Me Hot section, because I feel like for Beyond the Gates, we just need to have a product placement section constantly. But so there was a moment of product placement, but I'm moving it to the comedy moment of the week for me, because honestly, after the situation that happened, we have to let it slide. Because, so as I mentioned in the recap, Leslie showed up at Nicole's house. Like, what made her think that was a good idea? I don't know. But after Leslie left, you see Nicole standing up for Breezen, pretty much where Leslie had walked through her house. And at first, we were like, oh, come on, again? But then I said, hold up. No. I think we should let this one slide. And Mom said, why? I said, because she's for breathing the stench that is Leslie out of her house. So I will let it slide that they put in the Febreze moment.
Yep.
Every product placement after that, no, they deserve to be in the What Had Me Hot. But Nicole's Febreze moment is a pass. She gets this pass.
Okay. So I'll let you have that one.
You let me have it when I mentioned it the first time.
Yes, I know. It still has me hot. But anyway, we'll come back to that. Other comedy moment of the week.
And this one also kind of ties into you because you had mentioned it, and then they mentioned it themselves.
Yeah, I'm actually going to skip out of it and try to keep it. Well, never mind. We'll just do it in the order it's written there. Was Jacob telling Kat she should be a detective when she came with the recording? No, actually, it was before she came to the recording. She found him at the hospital, so it's a bit of make it sassy and a bit of comedy.
Well, it was more of like, because he said he's at the hospital, so she was looking for which floor he was on more than anything.
Well, okay, sure. But that was the thing, is she shows up at the hospital, she goes, oh, good, I found you. And he's like, you should be a detective, which is sassy. But really and truly, she should. Because I feel, again, and maybe it's because it's the general hospital writers that have moved over to Beyond the Gates. And I'm just like, are we going to have more of this Keystone Cop nonsense like we had on General Hospital, where everybody in town is solving the crimes,
but the cops,
except for the cops? Kat already told y'all from jump that Eva was up to no good.
Right.
And when she met Leslie, she said that Leslie was up to no good, but she didn't really know who the woman was. Now she's coming in saying, oh, Shimps, Eva and Leslie are the only ones who had anything to gain from Laura's accident. Now, to be fair, she's maligning Eva, but she doesn't know that. But she has it very much in the right ball court, has figured out the whole motive, figured out that they were playing the long game, what with befriending Mona months before they even got the job. Yes, Kat, you should be a detective. You could be a Miss Marple on the side. Absolutely. Other comedy moment of the week. So this was funny and revolting at the same time. Like, I don't have patience for it.
I'm like being okay. I'm kind of a hypocrite when I say this, only because I see how my sister looks at me when I do this in terms of flirting. But I get you're newlyweds, but y'all need to tone it down. It's like y'all doing too much. It's like, we get it, they're in love, okay. Point has come across very clear.
Oh my goodness, but this is it. Haley shows up at Bill's office, apparently after hours. She's all flirty. Fine, whatever. Bill has been working, has all his paperwork all over the desk, and Haley turns around and, like, not even like she is, she...
At least Danny did it better than she did.
Right. So it's not like she can't wait, right? If she couldn't wait and swept the stuff off his desk, okay. But the way she did it was just like she was just trying a thing. It did not work, because Bill started cracking up as well, as did we at home. Like, what was that? And he says, what are you doing? And she says, well, it looks so good in the movies. But she flung all his legal documents.
Coffee.
The coffee cup went flying, a paper coffee cup, which I think is what actually ruined it for me, because clearly the paper cup was empty. clearly. But if there had been something in it, that would have been all over his paper. Anyway, it just was, no, not cute, not sexy. And even when they were sitting on the floor cleaning up, which we got to see, which I think was smart, Bill was like, what were you trying to do? He's still laughing. Now, I thought that was a very funny scene. Okay, I have this in comedy moment of the week, but I don't know that it fits. I'm not really sure where else to put it. And I get it.
I think it should go in to make it make sense, because unfortunately it wasn't.
Well, it makes sense as well, but it was funny because of what it was. So let me just tell you what I'm talking about.
This Ted decides a fashion moment.
Yeah, Ted decides to take Eva to the club for breakfast. Eva shows up in this, I don't even know what to call it, Stepford Wives kind of cotton candy pink suit.
Like she's going to church. Like, it's very much like that church going outfit.
But it's not Eva. It's not her personality.
It's not her colors.
It makes her look dowdy and old and everything. But I understand she was trying to, fit in at the country club and dress the way she sees the women dressing. So I understand that's the point they were trying to make by the outfit.
Right.
But it was just like,
it wasn't.
Oh my god!
I'm like, there's a way to because looking at everyone who comes into this country club, especially looking at the Duprees and like Nicole and stuff like that. When it comes to Nicole's clothing, I don't think there's ever been something I've been like, okay, that's not really you. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm like, everything that wardrobe and makeup has done to Nicole has been on point, at least in my opinion.
Yes.
So when I look at Nicole's fashion, I'm like, and I compare it to I'm just like, Eva, like, you can find something that's your style that still fits within country club,
yes,
like, aesthetic.
And I'm sure
this outfit was not it.
It was not it, but I do think it was an intentional choice because she's trying to find her footing, right? It's like, how do I fit in? I don't want to embarrass my dad. You know what? I think this is what they wear, but she's still a fish out of water. So I think the fashion was doing that metaphorical thing that they can't actually write in words, right?
Right.
Because we all sat and went, it made her stand out more than she had.
Right. It honestly makes me think of like the first episode of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air when they had like that dinner party and Will came in still kind of like wearing his kind of style, but also mixing it with like the fancy suit and whatever. Yeah. Which to this day, I only just realized, not to this day, I realized it earlier, but within the last few years, I realized that the black strap that he had over his chest was the cummerbund and not some weird, like, I was like, why is he wearing this weird bra? Like, what is, like, I was like, what is that?
It's not a crop top.
No, I was like, oh, it's the cummerbund. Oh, okay. I granted, as a kid, I didn't know what a cummerbund was, so it's like, I was just like, what? But as I got older, it's like, oh, that's what that's supposed to be. Oh,
absolutely.
Okay. Like,
yep. So yeah. So I hesitate to put it in the comedy of the week, other than it made me laugh when she walked in, but which I think was partly the intention, as evidenced by Anastasia. Now here's somebody else who's looking out of place. This is another old hardback woman, as far as I'm concerned. Very pretty, but trying to look younger than she is.
I'm sorry, but in this case, the black done cracked.
Sure. Okay. But I think it's because she was not dressing appropriate to her age. She was dressing like she would have been like 20 or something like that. And it's like, lady, you got to be 60 enough. What are you doing?
Here's the thing, though. I'm like, put Danny in that outfit and Danny would have pulled it off. So it's like, yeah. So it's like.
But I don't think she was Danny's age. I think she's older than Danny and Nicole. She's trying to play like she might be their age and dress like she's Eva's age. But so she totally made me laugh. And she out
of pocket.
Yeah, what does you kids say? She had no chill.
She had none. As stated in the episode, she is the town gossip,
and she ain't even subtle with it at all.
She knows she's the town gossip. She accepts that moniker high with and mighty. Pride. Exactly. Woo. So when she went up to Nicole, I was like, oh my goodness, Nicole. I heard what happened, though, because I wasn't invited. I only know what I was told. But I'm so sorry for what happened. But after my second divorce, and I'm just like,
we old divorcees need to sit together or whatever she said.
It's like, you too, Danny. And I'm just like, my mouth is hanging open, ready for the flies to come in. Like, and then for her to go up to Eva and be like, hi, sticks out her hand for a handshake, and Eva's like, hello? And starts, like, going in as, like, it was, I don't even know what she said to Eva.
I can't remember what she said, but Eva turned around and ran out.
She was just so, like,
mortified.
Exactly. She's like, I cannot do this. Sorry, but it's like, this is too much. This was a mistake. And I was just like, and Anastasia's just like, oh, was it something I said? I was like, yes, very clearly.
And almost as if she felt she was doing Nicole a favor by running the girl out of the club. It's like, nobody sent you over there.
Like, Nicole can handle her own business.
Mm-hmm.
And then she said something so wrong to Ted.
Oh.
She said something.
We can skip right past that if you want.
All right, but I will say this, because I didn't mention this, but then after Eva had run out, Anastasia had finally left these people alone. Ted goes up to Nicole and says, Nicole, can we talk? Nicole does not say anything. And the thing is that I appreciate about Nicole, or her actress, is that her facial expressions are good. Because she was gibbing and gabbing and laughing with the girls, and then Ted came up and her smile dropped quick. And her face was so stoic. And Vanessa and Danny to the defense, like, you can go now. And Nicole's like, no. I want to hear what he has to say. And basically says to Nicole, like, I'm sorry what happened, but I will be here. You will see me here with my daughter and and our children, and I will not hide that. I'm going to, work to get back to you, come hell or high water. And next year, we will be standing here celebrating our anniversary, and all the good things. And I'm like, one, good on you, Ted, for saying your piece and not letting anybody stop you. Two, I commend your steadfast and true commitment to working through this with your wife and making an effort and doing what needs to be done, regardless of the fact that one, she doesn't want to see you, and two, you're like, I will respect your space, I will give you time, but we will work through this. I do think it is. I do appreciate that you're looking towards the future and you're like, no matter what, I will get there. I will try. I do think it is a little premature to be mentioning the anniversary, but then again, things are fresh. You're trying to look on the positive, regardless of how she may feel. There was one more thing.
Well, while you think of that, I'll jump in and say I didn't mind it. I actually liked the way I felt Ted was standing on business. Another thing you kids say these days, right? He made it very clear to Nicole exactly what his intentions are. So there could be no question in her mind. I don't know that he actually said I'm sorry, although he had said it to her in private. I think it bears repeating, personally.
I do.
But in any case, the other thing is, he's making it clear he'll be patient. Because really and truly, yes, Nicole is absolutely entitled to her feelings and her hurt because she's just now found out what's happened. But I think if she takes a minute to think about it, it happened 20 years earlier, and there has been no evidence whatsoever that he has ever strayed since then. He's been, by all accounts.
Which is what Danny mentioned last week.
Yeah, exactly. And so if you take all that into consideration, because people do make mistakes, and he recognized that he made a mistake, and he repented, and he did something different, and did something different going forward. Although I guess maybe the other part, which I can see being harder to forgive, is once he was aware Leslie was in town.
Yeah, not telling her or doing.
Yeah. And maybe that's why.
Yeah, I think
why Nicole is upset more than the actual infidelity.
Yeah, which I agree.
Which makes sense as I say that out loud. It's like, I don't think I would get over it quite so fast either.
No, agreed. And on top of that, I also think it will take her time to get through this, and I think everything else, when the feelings come and she sits with them, as Danny has suggested, it will be good for her. I think she might actually try. Because she's like, I see Nicole, as the type of person who is like, she's very logical. Obviously, she's proven it's like, I don't know what to feel. I don't know. And as she later has a moment with Danny, she's like, did you really need to have me, psychiatrist myself? But yeah, she's a very logical person. And so I think logically, she's like, she even says like, I understand. And like, I know that I should be feeling this and everything that happened. It's like, but I just, it's hard to explain. But essentially, I think she'll go through the entire, like, I guess her entire marriage and all the moments. Mm-hmm. And she'll come to the conclusion that, like, while yes, what he did was not okay in the least, he oh my goodness, he stayed, he did what he could to make amends, and in any way, shape or form that he could, he was a great father, great husband for the 20 years that they have been together since. And even now, finding out the truth, he's still being that good father, because it's like he found out he has a child he didn't know about, and he's doing what needs to be done to try and like make up for those 20 years that he didn't know, and also build a relationship. Mm-hmm. And like, even she said to her kids, it's like, she's your sister. It's like, you don't have to have a relationship with her, but she's still your sister. So and your father's gonna do what he's gonna do. So she's gonna be around, kind of thing. Yep. So it's like, it's like, she's gonna recognize, like, even if I do stay with him, she's still gonna be there. I'm still gonna have that reminder. Yep. But I do think in the end, she will at least try to work through things with Ted.
I think so.
Obviously, you're not gonna be in the same place you were back then, but like, overall, I'm just like, fingers crossed. I hope they make it. Don't give up, because I'm like, literally, out of all the men in this family that have married into this family, so far, Ted is the only bad apple.
I'm sorry? Ted?
Sorry, Bill. Oh. Bill is the only bad apple.
Ew. Ew.
Yeah, I'm like, unless Jacob or Smitty do something.
Right. Okay, so let's go back to comedy. Yes. Which is where we were. Yes. Last bit of comedy that I have, I don't know if you have any others. No. They did good on the comedy this week.
They did.
Although the execution left something to be desired. Madam Leslie, watching a horror movie in the middle of the day, biting her nails, talking about, girl, you know he's behind the door, or whatever it is she said. But it was just so yes, it's representative of us.
I'm like, she could turn off the lights at least.
But it was fakey. She could have turned off the lights at least. It wasn't Leslie. No. It was very, again, overacted. And then Jacob knocked on the door and she was like, I said, oh, jump scare.
And then Jacob being the cop. Everything good in there?
For sure. But so that was kind of funny.
Yes, and the thing that I think made it even funnier, at least for me, was the fact that last night after I had gotten home from work, we were just sitting here at the table scrolling through Instagram reels, and I showed you that one where the guy's sitting there like black people watching horror movies. Oh my goodness. And he's sitting in a dark room watching whatever movie he watching. Mr. Black Man in said movie doing foolishness that even we as black people know we don't do this. And Mr. Man shifts, man in the movie, and there's a figure, just a head behind him, staring at him. A zombie-looking figure. Right? Looking at him all like, I'm gonna get you, for whatever shady reason. And so this scares the actual man in the reel, and so he jumps, gets off the bed, turns on every light in his house, or in his room at least, and starts watching the wheels on the bus. Trying to bring some lightheartedness. Happy, joy. Exactly. And so that's what made me think of it. And I'm like, next thing you know, she's going to start playing the wheels on the bus. But it didn't work because my girl did not have the lights off.
Right. Okay. So while we move into what had me hot, you already touched on this. But really and truly, Procter & Gamble, y'all need to stop. Now you're getting abusive with the product placement.
I might have to write a heavily worded letter or email.
We let one slide. We did let one slide. What with Nicole for breezing Nicole stanch out of the air. I mean
Leslie stanch.
Thank you.
It's okay. I had my Ted being a bad apple moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we let that slide. But you have Sam coming in with her family with the groceries, and she got the Tide in her hand.
Why my girl why can that be like
in a bag? Just have the blue cap right? With a little bit of the red bottle. We know what it Tide is. We've seen it 87 times already since you started airing. Then you got Leslie sitting down on her chair, and she got her laundry on the couch beside her
with Downy,
and now it's Tide with Downy. Okay, so you have multiple variations of your Tide. Thank you very much. We get it. You could just buy advertising like everybody else, or since you're sponsoring the show, maybe they'll give you a free 30-second slot between ads, which you may already have. I don't know, because they don't come through on the Canadian feed. We get our Canadian commercials overlaid. But you're doing too much. Doing too much.
It's too much because we always say this is like the devices are listening, because I'm here on my computer minding my business, watching some YouTube, and the ads being like, not Downy, Tide with Oxy Boost. I said, I get enough of this on my soaps. I don't need you in my ads on my YouTube.
And I feel like there was another placement in there somewhere, and
I don't want to know.
No, I don't remember what it is.
I don't want to know even.
But I felt assaulted with your freaking products.
Switch it up.
To the point that when I see them in the store, I get trauma. I'm not buying your products, so you could just stop. I'm not doing it because you're doing too much.
Right? Switch it up. Rotation. It's like,
seriously, you have a lot of products, Procter and Gamble.
Right? I'm like, I don't think they do Swiffer. I don't know if they do Swiffer, but you could have my girl Mona, because Mona somewhere has a job. You could have them Swiffer sweeper. Just get the dust off the shelf. Something.
Use it at the restaurant. I mean, listen, stop. Too much. You're doing too much.
Agreed.
Okay.
Put some Gain in there, man. Gain flings. You just spray the Gain.
I don't think Gain is Procter &
I don't
Gamble.
know. I'm just saying.
Sure
switch it
that's
up.
That's a competing product.
I'm just saying. Switch it up.
Okay, you know what? Switch it up. Okay. Let's see. Let's make some suggestions as we're sitting here. Maybe they'll be listening, and they can throw something in that actually fits in with their storyline. Yes, I'm singing to you. Okay, let's see. Vicks Vapor Rub. Maybe somebody will get a cough.
They're in a hospital.
Yes.
And we're black.
We've got Martin.
No, but seriously, we all know this. When you're sick, you go home, you get in the pajamas and the bathrobe, you sit on your couch with your ginger ale, not Schweppes, with your Canada Dry ginger ale, your saltine crackers, you got The Price is Right or Family Feud, and you put the Vicks on your chest. Like, come on.
Either that, or you have Martin and Vernon. They're always speechifying. They're always speechifying. Maybe they get a little sore throat. They take a little, give Vicks cough drop. Off they go. You got Pampers. We keep talking about freaking Andre and Ashley, who delivered the baby in the elevator. So maybe we go up to the NICU. Maybe we go up to the maternity ward and see some Pampers. It'll make sense. Charmin, you have them doing laundry. Why are they not,
dryer sheets?
Charmin is not a dryer sheet.
Charmin is soft.
Charmin is toilet paper.
Oh.
You can tell who does the shopping in my house.
I don't buy laundry detergent.
You don't buy toilet paper either.
I buy my Unstoppables. That's it.
Oh my goodness. Right? We had them brushing teeth every so often.
Colgate.
Oral-B.
Oh, there we go.
Oral-B toothbrushes. You were talking about washing dishes. Dawn. They make Dawn.
Right? Because as I said, General Hospital last week, 2 weeks ago, however it was, my kid brought a Dawn bottle. Mm-hmm. The label did not say Dawn, but you knew it was Dawn soap.
Right? The men, listen, here's perfect product placement for you.
Gillette.
Perfect product. Yes, Gillette. Because the men are looking crisp. Their shaves are tight. Their hairlines. What?
Y'all need to have a barbershop. Because then they go to the barbershop to get that lineup. My man got the Gillette.
I'm saying. There's so many opportunities here. Also, Bounty. You have how many restaurants? Bounty could be in the restaurant. It could be in the house. Bounty might have helped with that chocolate stain on your bed sheet until you get your little, your Tide stick. See, the little Tide stick would have made a lot more sense there.
I will say this because I don't know how, You see,
I was talking about the coffee, the Castle Folgers. I'm on a rant. Y'all got me started.
But okay. See, I'm like, you got Eva working in the salon. I'm like, I don't think P&G got any, black hair care products, but,
That's okay. They can use some Pantene. And you're right about the Swiffer. Swiffer is apparently part of P&G.
There you go.
So there you go, Mr. Clean, Head and Shoulders. I said Folgers. You were talking about Colgate. It's actually Crest. Crest is their brand. Clear Blue. Somebody gonna come up pregnant soon. Advertise some Clear Blue. Let's go. Cascade and Crisco? Well, okay, maybe.
But the point is, guys. Point is, you don't need to constantly use Febreze and Tide. Switch it up.
Yes, that is the thing. You talked about the hair salon. I don't know if I mentioned Pantene.
You did say Pantene.
Okay.
And you said Head and Shoulders.
So there you go.
But yeah.
You have some options, P&G. Knock it off.
I swear to God, I'm writing a heavily worded email.
Holy moly. Okay. Who called for that, or what'd you do that for? We talked about this off the top of the episode.
No, we did not. We talked about it in the previous cut version.
Oh.
If it wasn't clear by my last statement, this is a retake.
This is take 2. Oh my gosh.
Mom went on a rant about this, which is totally fair because we don't care. It's why I didn't mention it in the recap.
Yes. Ashley and Derek cohabitating. We don't just... Okay, we get it. You're trying to do a setup so that Andre and Ashley can get together. Fine. But we don't need to see how it all develops. That's ridiculous. Enough said.
Also, my one question. How is it that we see Ashley at work and we never see Derek at work aside from when he's coming in because someone got hurt?
Setting up a fire is too complicated. You watch Chicago Fire, Med, PD.
We don't have to see them out of fires. Call a firehouse.
Too much. And
really? Because they got a police station?
Do we care?
Just attach it.
Do we care?
No, not really.
Exactly. And besides, Derek is the only firefighter we've seen so far.
Not true.
Other than the one that came in unconscious, we ain't seen no other ones.
Just saying.
So, yeah.
It's called background actors. Just put them in fire suits and let that be that.
That's a scene for no reason. A set for no reason. Okay, make it make sense.
Is it though? Sorry, more in the sense of the set for no reason. I'm like, they reuse sets all the time. I.e.
You know what? I'm not in control of their budget. I'm not going to speak anymore about it because you know what? I'm not care.
I'm like, with P&G doing all this product placement, they got the money.
I don't care. Just let's move on. I don't want to hear it.
I thought that was going somewhere else, but I'm going to left that alone.
Okay. Appreciate it.
All right.
Make it make sense.
Yes. So, pizza at the Smith Robinson Richardson house. Pizza night. We had Smitty, Tyrell, Samantha, Eva, Martin, and surprise guest, Jessica. And Martin, being a congressman, gives his speeches, and for some reason, gave this very unifying, heartfelt family speech, which was lovely. But my one question is, how are you giving a speech and Jessica sitting right there on the couch like she your son? Jessica, it's like this family, and then it's like, and then
right, generations to come.
If I was Jessica,
and I have a dream.
If I was Jessica, I'd be sitting there like, should I go?
Right?
Should I be here? I mean, it's very inspirational, but I'm just friends with him. I ain't dating him. Like, huh? I might have to get up and run to the bathroom to let you have your speech. Like, what? Next one. Vernon.
I don't understand this. And Anita asked the question, why is Vernon pushing so hard for the Articulates reunion? And he gave an explanation, and I'm like, that's so bogus. That's about you. Like, it's your feelings and how you feel when you're on stage and rah, 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 blah, blah, blah. How does this affect Anita? Why does she need to do that? I still don't get it. They're going to have to come with something better. But what was really interesting as a result of that was Vernon gave a masterclass in how to win friends, but specifically influence people. And I was like, whoa, the art of manipulation. And he was telling her when she calls Tracy the third articulate, because Anita called Sherry?
Sandra?
Stacy?
One of the two.
Some S lady. who was the other articulate, and she just basically put down the phone in Anita's face, and Anita was very upset. So Vernon was telling her, okay, but she's a church girl. Yes, okay. So talk about how it's like a 3-corded strand. Talk about not letting your light hide under a bushel. Talk about this, talk about that, and all these biblical references. And, and he's saying she won't be able to resist. And I'm like, he ain't lying. Like, that's the thing, right? You want to influence somebody or manipulate, depending on your perspective, is you talk about what it means to them, how it will impact them, not what it's doing for you. So I thought that was kind of interesting. I didn't care for it, but I thought it was really interesting. I was paying attention because I may need to use that at work. So it was good. Villain of the week? Do you have one?
Well, yes. I always say Leslie, and it's usually true. And this time, it just goes further because it's like, okay, every child deserves a parent or parents, but not every parent deserves a child. And in this case, Leslie is the parent that did not deserve a child. Because what the ever-loving fromage was that in Orphe Jeans? The first time, not the second. Because I'm like, your child did something you didn't like. Okay, understood. That happens a bunch of times being a parent.
But she was trying to do something ethical. That's even worse. You're upset because she tried to behave.
Amen. And so you kick her out the house. You tell her she's dead to you. But when she comes to you, I would say practically in tears. She wasn't in tears, but she was clearly upset. You just, rather than say we are not doing this here and take her outside or somewhere off to the side, you just sit in the middle of a public space and cuss her out in front of everybody and basically just disown her in front of everybody. And then on her birthday, you call her back to complain and try to manipulate her into talking to your ex-lover. So because you're like, well, since you're getting closer with your daddy, maybe you can talk to him and have him, ease off of me or whatever. And she's like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to be your go-between. So when she stands up for herself, you get mad at her even more. And when she's being honest with you, it's like, I know you're mad at me, but I thought, at least for today, we would celebrate my birthday, or you were at least thinking of me. And she's like, oh no, we did that weeks ago. This day, I cursed this day. It's like, this is the day that your child came into the world and brought you joy, love, laughter, all the things that are supposed to be great when a child is born. And you curse the day that she was born?
Listen, Leslie's full of dog mess because she said something similar when she was talking to Ted a little bit later.
Yep.
Right? And, Eva's the biggest blessing. You don't treat your blessings like that. Plain and simple. You don't cut them off. No, she's a blessing for you for what additional blessing you think you might get from Ted. And if she can't do that, then she ain't a blessing. Like, let's just be honest about it.
Like, I can understand if you had to cut her out or cut her off or create distance because she was in a very difficult or volatile situation, and you gotta give her some tough love. That is understandable, because honestly, you could just be like, look, I love you, but you are in a space that I cannot be in. You are acting in a way that I don't condone. So until you can get your ducks in a row, we can't be like, we can't. I'm sorry. Like, that is one way to go about things. Not, you're dead to me. Go, move on. I curse you, and the day you're like,
we know Leslie's not operating like she has sense.
No, she's not.
No. Other villain of the week, on my side, I'm going to give it to the writers.
Oh.
They've done some great things this week, but I don't care about the various sexual appetites of the different characters. And that's just an ongoing thing. That is my position. And I was very thrown by Vanessa stepping into a dominatrix role this week. Oh. And I was just like, why? So stop that, right? We recognize as human beings we have sexual appetites. you know what? We understand that Vanessa has a voracious appetite, and she's not going to be faithful to her husband. She's looking for whatever she's looking for. So, you know, you can just have a guy come by and be like, what's up? Blah, 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 blah. We know what's up. You have established that now. You don't have to define it in any way, shape, or form. Fade to black if you want. Go on about your business. Anyhow, we see Diego go by a scene, we know, oh, Vanessa's at it again.
I was about to say it's been a while since we saw Mrs. Stalker Diego, and I hope it stays that way.
I hope so too. But I'm just saying, you know, and how very confusing that she's not gonna sleep with Joey. Is it because Joey's, you know, the local mob boss? Could be. Okay. But we understand Vanessa has these appetites. We understand Chelsea has her appetites. You know, you're not flogging Jacob and Naomi. You know, Haley and Bill.
Again. Tone it down.
I understand, but yes, again, you can stop. We got the message. So that I'm putting writers villain of the week in my book.
I was about to say something and I'm like, no, you'd give me a cut eye for saying that on this podcast.
Nobody can see it but me or you.
No, I know, but still, I'm like, no.
Okay, then we'll move on. Hero of the week.
Just for me, Ted making amends, trying to do the right thing, being with Ava, Martin for, you know, actually making an effort to have a relationship with his sister, regardless of, you know, how he felt before and what other people, especially Kat, think.
I agree. I have those two as well. And Ted saying to Leslie at the end of the week, how could you look at that face and not want to protect her? Which is exactly once he got over his immediate anger, exactly what he did. Exactly as you said earlier and just now. It's like, no, that's my daughter. I've neglected her for 20 odd years by virtue of the fact I didn't know she existed. Now I do. That's my flesh and blood. There's no questions to be asked. Let's go. Let's build this relationship. And this exact same thing as you said, you know, Martin immediately leaving his seat in the diner and going to make sure that Eva was okay, and then later including her in the family dinner. I will add to that list Nicole for saying what every viewer has been wondering when Leslie showed up. How did you get beyond the gates? We all want to know. These gates seem to be very open. We don't understand. So thanks for calling that out. And also Randy. Even though Randy is quote unquote a mobster, he's a mobster with a gentle heart. And he said to Doug this week, you are my best friend since the playground. Like, forget what I'm getting paid to do. You know, that blood is thicker than water type thing.
Well, as the saying goes, and I really wish people actually start looking up the actual proper length of the saying. The blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. Meaning your chosen family is just as important, if not more so, than your family, your blood family.
Exactly. So that's what Randy is invoking, the blood of the covenant. They are boys. They go way back. It don't matter. And he's trying every which way to save Doug, knowing that he himself could be in jeopardy from Joey.
As he said, I'm gonna bust some kneecaps if you don't pay me my money.
So yeah. So Dougie, like, you're being a little selfish. I don't think you realize that you could take Randy down with you in your nonsense.
Come on, Dougie Fresh, do better.
All right. Kessikake, the Delulu of the week. Okay, you're shaking your head, so I'll just go with
because we know who the Delulu is.
So yes, obviously it's Leslie. Obviously,
her nickname is Delulu Leslie for a reason.
Yeah, I want to know what her new endgame is. I didn't understand why she was pretending with Mona and Jan that she actually wanted to be friends, and their friendship mattered to her. I don't understand the endgame there. And then Ted had a momentary Delulu, like
oh no, I read it.
Yeah, going over to Leslie's house because Andre mentioned to Ted that it's Eva's birthday. And Ted was like, oh, shoot, I didn't even think to ask. And so Ted is trying to now do something nice for Eva and thought to include Leslie.
I'm just like...
Well, okay, Ted.
I'm like, aside from Martin and Andre, who the hell are you inviting to this lunch for Eva?
I don't know.
Well, maybe Sam and Tyrell because they seem to be getting on better.
Maybe. But could be. I don't know. Maybe Haley. She's another outcast. I don't know. Oh, fix your face. Wow. no.
Don't sit down at no table with Haley.
Oh my gosh. So listen, I don't know who he could possibly be inviting. But that's maybe Smitty, because Smitty's nice to everybody. I don't know.
The only people who should ever be around that woman is her husband and her somewhat possibly ever soon to be child.
Oh, you are not on the Haley bandwagon? You don't care for Haley? Excuse me. Okay, unless you start another rant, I'm going to move very quickly along to make it sassy, because I know this one sweetened your heart.
Go ahead.
Oh, all right, but it was yours.
No, actually, I laughed at it and I called it out, but it wasn't really mine.
Oh, okay. So when Mona is in the casino trying to do her super sleuthing, she's another one who wants to be a detective, and encounters Eva. She and Eva get to talking, and at one point Eva says something to the effect of, "I have nothing left. I've lost everything." And Mona puts her arm on Eva's arm, or puts her hand on Eva's arm, in that sympathetic move we all see, looks Eva dead in her face and says, "Good," and gets up and walks off. I was like, "Whoa, okay." Oh my goodness, that was a little bit savage. We also have this week, I did not mention this already, right? That was in take one?
That was in take one.
Okay, so in take two, I will mention again, Ashley and Derek, with their cohabitation situation, they were having some personal time, and apparently Derek wasn't unable to show up for the personal time, if you take my meaning. And so the next morning, Derek is looking to apologize or something, and he says, "Listen, Ashley, about what happened last night." And Ashley immediately fires back with, "Or what didn't happen." I'm just like, yo, you can't be taking shots at your man's man like that. That's just not okay. Like, men have it tough. They have stresses. Try to be sympathetic. Golly. And then we have June. June is one of my new favorite characters. She is just living sass. She talks, it's sassy. I can't even give you examples. Then, perhaps when Doug was going to operate on her, and she's like, "But he ain't got but one hand," or however she put it. She's just sassy all the time.
And then she wakes up from surgery and is like, something about Doug and taking his tires. Like, well, he fixed mine, so why not break the one he fixed? Like, something.
Mm-hmm. Yep. She wants to go home with Doug. It's like, no, you don't. No, you don't.
No, you don't.
So, yeah. So that's pretty much it. And then I have some random observations from the weekend. I didn't know where to put them. But maybe I should have put Anita in Hero of the Week, because this is something that just burns my britches. Any show I watch on TV, and maybe it's a cultural thing, but these people are in a house with their shoes on, number one, right? I don't think that's the thing we do, but whatever. Maybe you have inside shoes.
That's one thing.
I'm going to let that lie. But then you go and you sit on your couch with your shoes on your feet.
Or you lie in your bed
with your shoes on your feet. Somebody did that this week. They were I was watching a different movie. That's what. But Anita was sitting on her couch and she was barefoot. I just about fell out of my couch. I was so surprised. You gripped
me so hard. And I had to pause because I was like,
"What happened?" And
she's like, "Did you see that? Did you see that?" I said, "Her feet? Yes, her bare feet."
In the couch, barefoot. Brava. Thank you for that. That, for me, that's a nuance that's very, very important.
Also, just a quick just a quick thing on the whole, shoes in the house and shoes on the bed. Don't put your damn suitcases on your bed, please.
Oh my gosh.
That's it. That's all I'll say.
Didn't happen in Beyond the Gates, but it's another pet peeve of ours. The other thing that was just a random observation, and this is just me. This is not really a thing, but I felt that John Lindstrom, the actor who plays Joey, as many of you know, John Lindstrom also plays on General Hospital, and so there was a couple of moments where I felt he slipped into some of his General Hospital characters in the episode. When he was giving Vanessa some words of wisdom earlier, I felt he was doing his Kevin Collins psychiatry mode from General Hospital.
But then when he threatened Dougie,
then yes, Dougie is not paying up. And he played, John Lindstrom also played a psychopath over on General Hospital, Ryan Chamberlain, and he pulled out this, I don't want to break your other hand, or I will break your other hand, and blah, blah, blah. But the tone and the intensity in which he said that, I was like, ooh.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, these head games, not for me.
Nope.
So yeah, that's about all I have. You have any predictions? Anything else you want to add?
No.
Oh, you are just disheartened.
Very.
Oh dear. Okay. Well, I don't want to leave you guys on a downer. I have no predictions, but get excited because we got another week of May sweeps.
Woo!
If not another 2, because this is a 5-week month. So yeah, we have another 2 weeks.
All right.
Absolutely. So get excited.
Yeah, someone might get arrested.
Someone might.
The question is, mother or daughter?
Either way. They're keeping it interesting. They're taking their May sweeps very seriously, unlike some other soaps who are losing ground in the demographics. But yeah, good stuff. So why don't y'all come back next week and hear what else has happened? We'll give you a little more soaps.
I had to have a lot of sass.
Have a great week, y'all.